everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. We like to take deep dives here, and today's topic is the Cane Corso.
Oh, yeah.
This is, a powerful breed with a history stretching all the way back to ancient Rome.
That's right.
I am guessing that you're listening because you're either thinking about maybe bringing one of these into your life or you're just fascinated by the breed.
Yeah.
And we have a stack of articles here and some, expert insights that are going to help us kind of understand these dogs,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to their behavior and training.
Right.
So,
The Cane Corso is a breed that really commands attention, and for good reason. Their size and strength are pretty impressive.
yeah.
But it's their history as guardians and protectors that really sets them apart.
So we're talking about a dog that was bred to be powerful and protective.
Yeah.
What does that mean for someone who's thinking about, bringing one into their home today?
It means that understanding their behavior and training needs is absolutely crucial. These aren't dogs that you can just wing it with.
One of the things that jumped out at me from these articles is this real emphasis on early and consistent training.
Yes.
Why is that so important, especially with a Cane Corso?
Well, you have to remember that Cane Corsos were bred to work independently.
Okay.
They were often trusted to make decisions on their own.
Oh, interesting.
And a lot of times in these high-pressure situations, and that independent streak is still very much a part of their DNA.
So we're not just talking about teaching them basic commands here.
Right. It goes beyond sit, stay, and fetch.
Okay.
It's about establishing really clear communication and boundaries from day one.
Right.
It's about helping them understand their place in your family and their place in the world.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm seeing in all these articles, too, and I'm sure you've noticed this as well, is just how much emphasis there is on positive reinforcement
Yes.
being the best approach
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to training a Cane Corso.
Right.
What makes that so effective?
It goes back to their history as working dogs, I think.
Oh, okay.
Cane Corsos thrive on having a job to do
Uh-huh.
and on pleasing their handlers.
Yeah.
And positive reinforcement really taps into that desire to please.
All right.
It's about rewarding the good behavior,
Right.
which builds their confidence and strengthens the bond between you and the dog.
So it's less about forcing them to obey and more about, guiding them toward the behavior you want to see.
Exactly. You're working with their natural instincts and not against them. Think of it like being a coach rather than a dictator.
I like that analogy.
You're guiding their natural instincts, not trying to break their spirit.
Yeah.
And, it's about finding that sweet spot between firmness and fairness.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about building a relationship based on trust and mutual understanding, not fear or intimidation.
Right.
Now, another term that pops up a lot in these articles is socialization.
Yes.
What does that actually look like in practice? And why is that so important for Cane Corso?
Think of it this way. Puppies, just like human children, they need to be exposed to a variety of experiences in order to develop into well-adjusted adults.
Yeah.
And socialization is all about introducing your Cane Corso puppy
Yeah.
to different sights and sounds and people and, of course, other dogs.
And I'm guessing this isn't just about letting them loose at the dog park.
It's definitely not a free-for-all.
Right.
It's about creating positive, controlled experiences.
Okay.
Think puppy classes.
Right.
Supervised play dates with dogs that are well-mannered.
Right.
And just gradually exposing them to the world around them in a way that builds their confidence, not their fear.
So we're talking about starting early and being deliberate about the types of exposures they have.
Exactly.
Right.
Early socialization helps prevent fearfulness and aggression later on.
Uh-huh.
It teaches them how to navigate the world confidently and appropriately.
Right.
And remember, even with a breed as intelligent and eager to please as the Cane Corso,
Yeah.
this is an ongoing process. It's
Wow.
not something you just check off a list.
It makes sense. It's about equipping them with the tools that they need to be successful in any situation.
Right.
Now, speaking of situations, I know one thing that a lot of people kind of wonder about is, how a Cane Corso's natural protectiveness might play out in a family setting.
Sure.
What do our articles have to say about that?
That's a really important question.
Yeah.
And while those protective instincts are a part of what makes them such loyal companions,
Right.
it's crucial to channel them in a positive direction.
Okay.
This is where training and socialization really come together.
So it's about teaching them to distinguish between a real threat and everyday situations where that protective instinct might be, misdirected.
Precisely. You want them to understand that you as their owner are in charge of handling those situations.
Right.
You don't want them to take matters into their own paws, so to speak.
So this is where having that solid foundation of trust and communication becomes so important.
Absolutely. It's about teaching them to trust your judgment and to defer to your leadership.
Okay, so we've covered the importance of training socialization and, channeling those protective instincts. But I'm curious, what about specific behavioral challenges that might come up with a cane corso?
Sure.
Are there any that potential owners should be particularly aware of?
There are a few things to keep in mind.
Um,
One is that cane corsos can be prone to separation anxiety.
oh, well,
Remember, they're incredibly loyal and bond deeply with their families.
right.
Being left alone for long periods can be really stressful for them.
So it's important to factor that in, when considering their lifestyle needs.
Yeah,
And I imagine mental stimulation is key here as well.
absolutely. A bored cane corso can get into trouble.
Uh-huh.
They
Wow.
need outlets for their energy and their intelligence.
Speaking of energy, I'm guessing regular exercise is non-negotiable for a breed with, this much working history.
You got it. They were bred to move, so daily walks and playtime and even activities like agility training are crucial for their physical and mental well-being.
It sounds like owning a cane corso is a commitment, not just a decision based on looks.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's
Okay.
about understanding their needs and being prepared to meet those needs.
Right.
It's about providing the structure and the guidance and the enrichment that they need to thrive.
And while it might sound daunting, I'm sensing that the rewards of that commitment can be pretty incredible.
They absolutely are well-adjusted. Cane Corso is an amazing companion. They're loyal and intelligent, and despite their size,
Yeah.
they can be incredibly affectionate.
So we've talked a lot about the work involved in owning a cane corso, but what about the fun stuff?
Right.
What are some of the things that make sharing your life with this breed so special?
Well, for one thing, their personalities are larger than life.
Oh, wow.
They're known for their sense of humor and their love of play. They can be goofy, they
Really?
can be cuddly, and they definitely have a mischievous streak.
So it's not all serious business with a cane corso.
Not at all. They bring a lot of joy and laughter to their families.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm already picturing myself going on long walks with a happy cane corso by my side.
It's a wonderful image, and it's a testament to the power of responsible ownership.
Wow.
When we
Right.
take the time to understand and meet our dog's needs, we open the door to an amazing relationship.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today, but this is just the beginning of our deep dive into the world of cane corsos.
Yes.
Stay tuned as we explore even more about their behavior, their history, and what it truly means to share your life with this remarkable breed.
It's going to be a fascinating journey, and remember, knowledge is power,
Absolutely.
especially when it comes to responsible dog ownership.
Right.
The more you understand about the Cane Corso, the better equipped you'll be to provide them with the happy and fulfilling life they deserve.
We'll be back in a moment to continue our deep dive. Welcome back. We're picking up our deep dive into the world of the cane corso.
Yes.
And before the break, we were talking about how important training and socialization are for this breed. But let's get into some specifics now.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the unique challenges that cane corso owners might face when it comes to behavior?
Well, one area that requires careful attention is managing their protectiveness.
Okay.
Remember, these dogs were bred to guard and protect, and those instincts are still very much a part of who they are.
So while it's great to have a dog that's naturally protective of their family,
Right.
it's also important to make sure that those instincts don't, become a problem.
Exactly. It's all about balance.
Wow.
You want them to be alert and watchful, but you don't want them to overreact to every perceived threat.
Our sources talk a lot about the importance of teaching a cane corso to differentiate between a real threat and everyday situations.
Right.
How do we do that?
Clear communication and consistent training are key.
Okay.
You need to establish yourself as the leader,
Right.
the one who makes decisions about what is and isn't a threat.
Okay.
And this means not letting them bark excessively at every passerby or lunge at every dog that they see on a walk.
So it's about setting boundaries and teaching them impulse control.
Yes, and it's about helping them understand that you've got their back.
Okay.
They don't need to take on the role of protector in every situation.
I'm starting to see how this ties back to what we were talking about earlier with positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
It's about building that trust so that they feel secure enough to defer to your judgment.
Exactly. And remember, you're not trying to suppress their natural instincts entirely. You just want to channel them in a healthy way.
That makes sense. Now, another behavioral issue that comes up in our sources is aggression.
Yes.
And I imagine this can be a concern for potential owners given the cane corso's size and strength.
Sure.
What insights do we have on this?
It's important to understand that aggression is a complex issue,
Okay.
and it's rarely without a cause.
Right.
In Cane Corso's, aggression can stem from a variety of factors, including fear or territoriality or even a lack of proper socialization.
So it's not about them being inherently aggressive,
Right.
but rather about understanding what might be triggering that behavior.
Precisely, and that's why it's so important to address any signs of aggression early on.
Okay.
Don't just brush it off as, typical Cane Corso behavior.
What should someone do if they notice their Cane Corso displaying aggression?
The first step is to consult with a qualified professional, ideally a veterinarian or a certified dog behaviorist.
Oh.
They can help you determine the root cause of the aggression and develop a safe and effective management plan.
So it's about seeking expert guidance rather than trying to fix it yourself.
Exactly. It's also crucial to be proactive.
Okay.
Focus on prevention by providing your Cane Corso with a solid foundation of training and socialization.
We've talked about aggression and managing protectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other behavioral challenges that are particularly relevant to Cane Corsos?
One that often comes up is separation anxiety.
Okay.
Remember, these are dogs that are intensely loyal and thrive on being a part of a family.
Right.
Being left alone for long stretches can be very stressful for them.
So it's something that potential owners should really consider when they're thinking about their lifestyle.
Yeah,
And, whether they can provide the companionship a Cane Corso needs.
absolutely. If you're frequently away from home for long hours, a Cane Corso might not be the best breed choice for you.
I imagine that mental stimulation and physical exercise are key for preventing boredom and anxiety in a Cane Corso.
You got it.
Okay.
They need outlets for their energy and their intelligence.
Right.
A bored Cane Corso can quickly become a destructive Cane Corso.
So what are some good ways to keep a Cane Corso mentally engaged?
Sure.
I'm thinking, puzzle toys,
Yeah.
training exercises, things like that.
Those are great examples. Puzzle toys are fantastic for stimulating their problem-solving skills.
Right.
And training should be an ongoing part of their life, not just something you do when they're puppies.
Are there any other activities that you would recommend?
Activities like agility training or nose work
Okay.
can be incredibly enriching for Cane Corsos. They tap into their natural instincts and provide both mental and physical stimulation.
Right.
And don't underestimate the power of a good long walk. Just being out and about, exploring the world with their nose to the ground
Yeah.
can be incredibly satisfying for them.
This is also fascinating. It really underscores that owning a Cane Corso is about more than just providing food and shelter.
Right.
It's about understanding their unique needs and creating an environment where they can truly thrive.
Well said. And it's about being prepared to put in the work.
Right.
It's not always easy, but the rewards of having a well-adjusted, happy Cane Corso are immeasurable.
I'm really starting to see the depth of the bond that can be formed with this breed. It's clear that there's so much more than just powerful guard dogs.
Right.
They're intelligent and sensitive and deeply loyal companions.
Exactly. And that's what makes them so special.
Well, we've delved into some of the behavioral challenges that Cane Corso owners might face.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what about the flip side? What are some of the joys and rewards of sharing your life with this breed? We'll explore that right after a quick break. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of the Cane Corso.
Yes.
Before the break, we were talking about some of the behavioral challenges that come up.
Right.
But now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the rewards.
Yeah.
What makes sharing your life with a Cane Corso such a special experience?
Well, one thing that consistently stands out in all of our research
Okay.
is their unwavering loyalty.
Yeah.
Cane Corsos are known for forming incredibly strong bonds with their families.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Hey.
We've talked about their history as guardians and protectors.
Right.
And it sounds like that dedication extends beyond just their job.
Right.
It becomes a deep personal connection.
Absolutely. They're often described as being Velcro dogs.
Okay.
Always by your side, wanting to be involved in everything you do.
That sounds both endearing and potentially a little bit overwhelming.
It can be.
I can imagine a Cane Corso's presence is hard to ignore.
Yeah. It certainly is. They have a way of commanding attention both with their physical presence and with their personalities.
Yeah.
But that strong bond is also what makes them such rewarding companions.
Right.
They're incredibly attuned to their owner's emotions
Right.
and offer a level of devotion that's truly special.
Our sources also highlight their intelligence as a key part of their appeal.
Yeah.
We've touched on this a little bit throughout our discussion, but I'm curious to hear more about what makes them such quick learners.
I think it's partly due to their history as working dogs. They
Okay.
were bred to think independently and to problem solve.
Right.
And that sharp mind combined with their eagerness to please
Yeah.
makes them incredibly receptive to training.
So it's not just about rote obedience.
Right.
They actually enjoy the mental challenge of learning new things.
Exactly. They thrive on having a job to do,
Right.
even if that job is simply learning a new trick or figuring out a puzzle toy.
And I imagine that intelligence also contributes to their ability to form those deep bonds with their humans.
Without a doubt, they're not just following commands.
Yeah.
They're engaging with you on an intellectual level, which deepens that connection.
I'm also seeing a lot in these articles about their playful side.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to just focus on their size and their power,
Right.
but it sounds like they have a real zest for life.
Absolutely. Despite their imposing appearance, cane corsos can be incredibly goofy and playful.
Really?
They love to romp around and play fetch and just generally enjoy themselves.
So it's not all serious business with a cane corso.
Not at all.
They know how to let loose and have fun.
They definitely do, and that's one of the things that makes them so endearing.
Yeah.
They can be tough and protective one minute
Right.
and then turn into a big cuddly goofball the next.
Sounds like there's never a dull moment with a cane corso in your life.
That's for sure. They keep you on your toes, but they also bring so much joy and laughter into a home.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored their history, their temperament, their training needs, the challenges, and of course, the incredible rewards of sharing your life with the cane corso.
It's been a fascinating deep dive.
It really has.
And while we've gleaned a lot from our sources,
Mhm.
I think the biggest takeaway is that the Cane Corso is a breed that deserves our respect and our understanding.
Absolutely. They're not the right dog for everyone,
Yeah.
but for the right person, they can be an extraordinary companion.
Right. Remember, responsible ownership is about more than just providing food and shelter.
Right.
It's about understanding the Cane Corso's unique needs and being committed to providing the training, the socialization, the enrichment that they need to thrive.
And it's about embracing that incredible bond that can be formed with this loyal, intelligent, and deeply devoted breed.
Absolutely.
We hope this deep dive has given you a deeper appreciation for the cane corso and inspired you to learn even more.
Keep researching, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep an open mind
Yeah.
as you explore the world of this magnificent breed.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, happy diving.